Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Checkpoint. This is our review show where we pick a recently released game, play it, and then share our thoughts. Today we'll be talking about Crash Bandicoot N Sane Trilogy exclusively on the PS4. And just a warning, this is not a spoiler-free zone, so if you don't want any of the very deep and very intricate Crash Bandicoot lore ruined for you, pause this video and come back once you're ready. So today I'm here with co-host Francisco Lozano and special guest Mac Stein. So Mac, if you just give us a very brief history of gaming for you, your favorite games right now, how you started gaming, and then your 30-second impressions of the N Sane Trilogy.
All right. Well, I guess I got into gaming with a Game Boy Color I got when I was 5. My cousin gave me that and a little Godzilla game, which I can't find to this day, but it was really bad. After that, I kind of got into Pokemon, and it kind of turned me into a Nintendo stan over the years, and I'm like super hardened, will ride, will die for Nintendo. So these days, I'm still going heavy. I've been playing a lot of Zelda on the Switch.
Yeah.
Outside of that, kind of riding with Overwatch still.
Yeah.
And getting a little into Battlefield 1 recently. As far as the Crash remake goes, I think it's good. There's a lot of fun to be had with it. But there are definitely some problems as well. Stuff like Crash's collision detecting, where if you don't solidly land on a platform, he's going to slide off. Even if you're really on it, it can be a little frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's still a good game. I don't have huge problems with it.
Francisco, what do you think?
I enjoyed just the really pretty, modern day graphics. I guess they gave. I did not play the original, so I didn't get a chance to experience the
Mac, did you play the originals at all?
Oh, no.
Okay, so we're all in the same boat there.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat, yeah. And when it comes to reviewing a remake, you have to take into account, like the nostalgia factor,
right?
The remake factor, how well of a job they did, and they did from my understanding, they did a very good job of just reskinning this in a very prettier package, which I appreciated, for I guess the people that would find nostalgia in this.
Yeah, this is definitely a very, very pretty game. It looks great, but it is infuriating. I just a little preface here. Anything I say, take with a grain of salt. I played for 3 hours and then I rage quit. So my opinion is not total. It's not a seasoned.
Wait, now how long did you make it with Andromeda before you quit?
Oh. I think I made it longer with Crash than Andromeda.
Okay.
I think so. I had a little more faith in Crash. So whatever I say, take it as you will. I did not play too much of this game. But I think this is a solid game. I think it is great that they brought it back and that it's selling so well, because that means there's potential for more Crash or even a Spyro remake, which would be incredible. It seems, and maybe this is the nostalgia, it seemed like they left some old school mechanics that don't really fly anymore. My biggest gripe was the automatic double jump. How you only did a double jump if you did your first jump correctly. Like if you were jumping a gap and you didn't double jump, you're like, well, I guess I didn't jump in the right spot. And I wasn't crazy about that. Like, do you guys get the feeling that this is kind of like a little old school, like not totally modernized?
Some of the mechanics did throw me off. I also had a problem with the jumping. Like landing on boxes, it automatically makes you jump again.
Right.
A couple of times that ended up sending me flying off of edges that I wasn't ready to get near yet.
Yeah. So when, like, a lot of the enemies are very tricky.
I don't understand the enemies at all. I get where I think, I'm in a position where I can do my spin attack.
Yeah.
And it's like the very tip of the tail kills me. And then
the entire hitbox, and it seems like a little bit more of it is just instant death. It's immediate.
It almost doesn't make sense, because and the way you move too, you don't move like smooth. When you do the move, it does a whole animation. So you move from here to here. There's no in between.
Right.
So when you're trying to get like right close to them so you can hit them, sometimes you're jumping that gap and you're in their hitbox and then you're gone.
Yeah.
And can a game be truly enjoyable? Was it this hard when it first came out? Did people enjoy that type of?
That's like I've heard that it's harder.
Because back then, and it was still in the era where games and the way it's set up, you have lives, kind of like the Mario thing where you die, it's set up to where it's supposed to be hard
Yeah.
for you to get through, but this is almost infuriatingly,
Yeah.
impossibly, arbitrarily hard.
Yeah. Another issue I had was I call it like ice skate physics. It seems like when you move, after you stop going right, there's still a little bit of like still moves right a little bit. Like it's not as soon as you take your thumb off, they stop moving. And that's kind of how it is now. That's kind of the norm, like precise controls where there's none of that kind of gliding left and right. Especially with a platformer like this, I feel like that's very important to have that precise control.
It can be a little frustrating. Controls not working appropriately. I remember I played a level, I think it was called Road to Nowhere, in which it's just a bridge extending forward for the entirety of the map, but there are various parts of the bridge are falling off or are broken or are slides even. And there are enemies on it that are these hogs that just charge back and forth at you the whole time. And what's interesting is that if you move right, they move left or right with you, regardless of whether or not they're looking at you. So they'll be like running up the bridge the other way, and you'll move right to get around them, and they'll just come with you and hit you off, and you start all over.
I definitely did not make it to that level, but I would have hated to see what would happen if I did.
Also with those,
The riding ones where you're like riding a hog.
Riding the
or
hog, those are hard.
Those were really bad.
yeah. Also with these hogs, they're running on the same bridge as you, but there are gaps in the bridge, but they don't actually run on the bridge, so they don't have to worry about it. They run on an invisible plane above the bridge, so regardless of like things that you knock out of the bridge, they'll just keep coming at you. It's maddening, really.
Did any of you guys play? I only played the first game. Did any of you guys dabble in the second or third at all?
I touched a little bit on the second and third just to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
They add a little bit more mechanics, you know. Originally, you know, it boosted the graphics, but I guess now that they're all remastered, they all look kind of pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It seems like they get bigger and bigger as they go along. So the first one's not an entirely large game, but by the time you get to the third one, you have like 5 worlds.
You have a hub world, and it kind of branches off. Yeah.
So did you get any experience with the other two?
I did not. I tried to charge my way through the first one. Didn't really come close. Ended up getting frustrated and just turning it off, being done with it.
Did you guys, even though it ended up being very, very easy, did you guys struggle to figure out how to beat the first boss?
Yes.
Papu.
I ended up having to Google it, I'm not going to lie.
So you didn't have any trouble?
No, it just seemed like a normal run-of-the-mill platformer boss.
But it said no body blows.
Right on the loading screen, it said no body blows.
did.
I was like, oh, okay.
I just figured that meant like spinning, so I tried to jump on him.
Man.
But I would jump on his back and I'd just bounce off.
You had to hit his head. You had his head.
Oh, I didn't even realize. I just
Wait,
guess
what were
I
you
lucked
doing?
out with all my jumps.
Yeah. Because you got to, well, eventually, I guess they meant to include it, but you can jump on that throne chair and not get touched at all. Like, where's the adventure in that?
Yeah.
That seems like a glitch, like, on my thing. Because I stood there the whole time trying to figure out, like, Googling how to beat this guy. Well, he just spins around in circles with his butt crack showing, spins around again. And
one thing I wish this trilogy had was the ability, we talked about this a little bit with like the Master Chief Collection or something like that, for you to go back to the old school graphics. So you just click a button and it goes back to PS1 graphics. I think that is it's almost like a charming thing. So you can just, it's like a filter, you just on and off. It's like, dang, this has come a long way. Yeah, to be able to see the progress.
And appreciate because anybody, like me playing it, I just go, okay, this is how the game's always been. Just pretty fun, little over the top for a platform.
Yeah.
Kind of feel to it. And having the ability to have been able to see it, in its original, I don't know how many polygons they had, and all 3 of them to make Bandicoot versus how many they use now. I think it would have made me appreciate more the effort they put in to do it. Now, I don't know if it's harder to, if it's some kind of, technical barrier there is to stop them from being able to switch back and forth, but it would have been nice.
Mac, how did you feel about Crash's girlfriend?
Is she the first one inside of in the castle, or are we talking Coco?
Not Coco.
Okay.
They're not dating. Come on.
Oh, excuse me.
What's her name? Tana.
Tana.
She's weird. It's like a human.
She reminds me of the Donkey Kong characters, like Candy Kong.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Ew.
Pretty sure she had
with
blonde
a
hair,
really
too.
weird long
Yeah.
legs. Yeah.
It was just unsettling.
It was. And she's in every bonus level, just
Yeah.
waiting for you there.
And then Cortex just flies off with her.
Snatches her off.
Yeah. She was a very unsettling character model.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, okay, you gotta imagine. Imagine like a kid playing this, right? He would see boobs.
I guess.
You know, and legs, and I guess he.
But he'd still see an animal.
Okay,
Yeah.
you tell me. There's a whole community out there that would like to talk to
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Not that I advocate for that. I'm just saying they do exist.
I want to talk about how I think this game coming out at $40 instead of $60 was a genius decision. I think that was very, very smart of them to do. Because we talked about this in an editorial earlier, or I believe a wrap-up. This is the best-selling launch on a PS4 game, or on the PS4.
Beating out Horizon
even
Zero
Horizon
Dawn.
Zero Dawn. It sold more in whatever time period than Horizon Zero Dawn. So I think the fact that it came out at 40, they understand this is a remaster. We're not adding anything, and these games are relatively short compared to modern games. And selling it for 60, like I don't know, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
Activision.
That may be coming out discounted.
Wait,
Apologies,
but then
Activision.
again, this is also Activision, so I don't know what
That's
they're
true.
doing over there.
Are they good or bad? I can't decide. But I wish more remasters kind of took that route.
And also, you're getting 3 games for
And
$40.
100
What BioShock? The BioShock
100
trilogy
levels,
is the same thing.
100 levels to be exact, is what you're getting in here.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot to be learned about remasters with the Crash trilogy overall. So thinking about all the time you put in, thinking about the pros and cons, starting with you, Francisco,
Oh, okay, me.
what would you say about this game? Do you think it's worth the purchase? Was it fun to play?
I think definitely if you played, the PlayStation 1s or the PlayStation 1 games, I think you're gonna love it because it keeps almost the entire charm that you had of the original one, just making it graphically good looking, and it kept the same essence. There's this really fun parts where it still keeps the 4 game slots that you would have back on the PlayStation because you had a memory limitation. You had to insert the little card in there. And I think those kinds of mechanics are still fun, like the game over. You only have 3 lives. Like, you don't see those kinds of things anymore. And of course, it's a platformer, so it kind of lends itself to it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a real fun blast from the past and totally worth $40 for 3 games.
Mac, what are you thinking? Is it a worthy purchase?
It's probably worth it. I don't know if I would
Probably.
personally purchase it because I did not purchase it. It was loaned to me to play. It's a lot of fun and it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
But it was just really frustrating. Like
Yeah.
some of the side-scrolling levels where it's supposed to be 2D, but there's still some
You can move back and
three-dimensional
forth
aspect to
on
it.
the
Right,
platform.
yeah.
It reminds me of Paper Mario, where like
Yeah.
you expect to be on kind of a flat plane, but
Right.
there's still depth to it, and it's really easy to just like accidentally walk off of what you thought was like a walled-in area.
Yeah. So I would kind of say, similar to what you guys are saying, beautiful game. It's a good nostalgia trip. It's $40. Very, very frustrating, but in terms of the gameplay itself, I don't think there's anything wrong per se. I think it's just an old school game, and it's hard. But I do think it's a worthy purchase. So $40,
Definitely.
100 levels, can't beat it. If you've gotten to play the N Sane Trilogy, what are your thoughts? Did it make you as furious as it made us? Are you some kind of gaming legend that had no problem with this game? Let us know in the comments down below or on facebook.com/glitch.news.
You can also visit watchapptv.com to view all of our past episodes. A few months back, we published an editorial about the possibility of the N Sane Trilogy coming to other systems. If you're an Xbox or Switch or PC user looking for a chance to play Crash, make sure you check that out.
This was Glitched, and our checkpoint has been reached.